Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Inspector General Horowitz. I served in law enforcement for 30 years as a sheriff for 8 of a large county. We served hundreds of warrants, if not thousands, throughout my years in law enforcement. And I can tell you to obtain a warrant, we had to find a judge. We had to establish probable cause. If you didn't meet that threshold, the judge wouldn't give you the warrant. Reasonable suspicion didn't meet the standard. It was probable cause. And this, I agree with, because I think it was there. The whole purpose was to protect people and their Fourth Amendment right. Can you explain the process the FBI uses to obtain a FISA warrant specifically? What is required to show probable cause?
So on the Title I side of FISA, when they're going to seek a warrant like they did in the Carter Page circumstance, they need to show that there is sufficient evidence, probable cause to believe that the individual they're seeking the warrant against may be an agent or could be an agent of a foreign power.
Yeah. And we find, I want to talk about the illegal surveillance of Trump campaign associate Carter Page, and I want to thank you for you and your investigative report, which found that the FBI had abused its FISA authority on several occasions to conduct illegal surveillance on Page, Mr. Page, and this was and continues to be critical for our oversight. Here's the article, Washington Examiner, DOJ Inspector General finds 17 significant errors or omissions in Carter Page FISA applications. And you know, when I go through this timeline, and when you look at Mr. Page, for those of you that may not be familiar with some of these characters, you've got Carter Page, you've got Kevin Kleinsmith, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Christopher Steele, the dossier, Stuart Evans. And this Carter Page was a great American. 1993, he graduates from the Naval Academy. He serves in the Navy 5 years, worked as an intel officer before rising to the rank of lieutenant. 2000, he goes to work for Merrill Lynch in London. 2004, Merrill Lynch promotes him to deputy branch manager in Moscow. He leaves Merrill, becomes an international energy consultant based in New York, and travels primarily from London to Moscow. And the CIA begins debriefing Page about his contacts with Russians in 2008. And so he has a relationship now. He's being interviewed. The CIA's interviewing him. CIA's sharing information with the FBI. 2013, Russian agents posed as bankers approach Page in New York at Energy Symposium, try to cultivate him as a source for economic information. The FBI in April 2013 records it. They record it. Russians are complaining because Page didn't want to agree, didn't want to cooperate with them. June that same year, the FBI interviews Mr. Page again and reveals that he has spoken with the CIA. So they're all talking. This is good. The federal agencies are talking to each other. Page agrees as to cooperate as a key witness against this Russian agent, and the agent gets found guilty, sentenced him to 30 months in prison. And then this is where it goes wrong. This is where it happens. Then all of a sudden, Page then starts working for Trump. And that's where these individuals, the Christopher Steele, the former British intel agent, he brings the Steele dossier together. Hillary Clinton hires Fusion GPS to dig up the dirt on Trump. And this is the problem we have. We can see that it was all out there to go after Trump, to dig up dirt on Trump. The FBI knew Page was a credible man, but they ignored all this. They get warrant after warrant after warrant, and we take it all the way up through 2017, and then eventually they find out Mr. Page didn't do anything wrong. They sentenced Mr. Kleinsmith. I didn't think they gave him enough time. They sentenced him to 12 months probation, 400 hours of community service. But when you look at what happened to Mr. Page because he joined the Trump team, Mr. Page's previous years serving his country, doing a great job, cooperating with the FBI and the CIA, they turned this guy now into some type of a villain, some type of a Russian agent. All in the name of what? To go after Trump and the Trump campaign, to make Trump look like he was in collusion with the Russians. And I don't have time to go through the whole story, but what safeguards have been in place? What safeguards have been in place to ensure this doesn't happen in the 2024 election? Especially given that Donald Trump is the leader of the Republican Party. What are we going to do?
So we made a series of recommendations in both our review of the Crossfire Hurricane matter and the Woods review that we did. We have a series of recommendations. Most of those have been addressed, but not all of them. We continue to follow up to make sure that what has been done is been implemented effectively and works.
Thank you. I certainly hope so. God bless our country.